And you know what I'm saying? I think families do wrong with women and not making you understand that you should enjoy sex.
Yeah.
Cuz honest to God, for years when I had sex, I it never clicked to me like, oh, I too should like finish, or I too should do this. Like
Yeah.
I remember for years my satisfaction would be that I would like, satisfy the other person, and
Mm-hmm.
like, they would finish. And it literally, I'm telling you, was not till I was a grown ass adult, well into my feminism, well into me preaching sexual liberation,
Yeah.
that I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up. This is supposed to be about me too.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard of sex as like an act for a man,
Mm-hmm.
because my father, he was a Rolling Stone. So like, I always thought like, oh, sex was like things like men do. Like they just be fucking a bunch of bitches and like
Mm-hmm.
leave them and that's it. Like, and like, I think how I saw my mom's relationship with sex, which is weird, I think, to say it like that, but I don't mean it like
It's not
that.
that weird. If you
Yeah.
think this shit's weird, like you can't talk about it, just you're
Yeah.
weird.
Like, I'm here, so it's proof that she's pretty familiar. Um, I just think like, even when I've heard her talk about it, it's always been in like the pleasure of the man.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, want to get a lot of sexy lingerie. Oh, every
Right. A los
day.
hombres les gusta.
Yeah, she's like, girl,
Yeah.
I'll make sure your dad will go to every day. He would have some. Da, 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 da. And like, I always thought of it as like a performance you do for a man. Like
Mm-hmm.
even looking pretty, even like, so like, I feel
Oh.
like that's the mental stuff I have in like my brain now as an adult, and now that I've come to realize, I'm like, no, I too am supposed to be enjoying sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good for them, but I'm not just a pocket pussy. You're not just supposed to jump off me. Like
Right.
this is a dance between us two, and we're both supposed to find pleasure. But
Mm-hmm.
it's something that it literally did not grasp me till like years after I started having sex.
You know what's crazy? I have an aunt. She passed away. Shout out to my tia Luz, que descanse en paz.
Right. R.I.P.
She said that she had 12 kids, and she said that she never had an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I remember when I first heard that, I was like, homegirl's 70 years old. I do not, ladies. If you've never experienced an orgasm, please leave your man. Because I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, oh my God, that's so weird. And then I was like, wait, I've never had an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know. I would always be like, oh, I'm that percentage that like can't have one.
Yeah.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
just so sad. But I also think that TV and, just the world kind of makes you feel like you can't ask a
Mm-hmm.
guy
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to make him feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that
Make
shit
them
pisses me
feel
off now.
horrible.
Yes, like what the fuck? That's so crazy. They don't give one fuck about
They
you.
literally don't care. They will jump off you. I tell They
Yeah.
will do 3 minutes if all you got is 3 minutes.
You finish and they're like, "Oh, babe, can I keep going?" Like, girl, didn't you see me finish? No, get off.
Mm-hmm.
But back then I
And
was
they,
just
yeah, once they're done, they're tapped out.
exactly
Yeah.
like, girl, start that shit up again.
Yeah, like, what you need, 15 minutes?
10,
Need
I'm
some
on the
water,
clock.
sandwich. Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's a true fact, is that the orgasm gap between men and women is ridiculously high. I think men orgasm, I don't know if it ranges between 65 to 85% of the time they
Mhm.
orgasm, and women to men, they only orgasm like a half of, like a fraction of that. Like
Yeah.
let 65% of women are not experiencing orgasms.
Dude, and it would get to the point where like if I couldn't make my partner finish, I would literally start crying. I would be like, I'm not doing something right. Like either something's wrong with me or you're not attracted to me anymore or like I just any excuse that I could think of, I'd be like, man, like I've like what's going on? Like is something wrong with my relationship? And then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like who gives a fuck? Homeboy
Mhm.
fucking finishes like 100 times a day. Like it's fine
Mhm.
if one time he doesn't.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad, and I feel like my family's still like that, though. They're very taboo about talking about sex. I honestly talk to my younger cousins and my nieces. I try to be as open with them. I'm not like, "Hey, tell me," but I'm always like, if you ever have any questions or you want to talk to someone about it, like ask me because I'm going to tell you. Like it doesn't make me
Mhm.
feel uncomfortable, and I feel like it's important for you to know that like sex isn't about you pleasuring the other person. Like you can get something from it too. It's not just like a one-way street.
Oh my God. I feel like someone has asked me that in my family, and I didn't know how to answer that.
Really?
I didn't know how to answer that. Like, they were like, I've never like orgasm. Like, how do you, like, how do I tell my partner how to, and I'm like, You're asking me? I'm like, can you ask somebody else? But it's because I think I didn't even have that experience then. So I'm like, how am I going to tell someone an experience that
Yeah.
I didn't even have, you
Or
know?
even like masturbating. Like I feel like masturbating was so taboo, especially even with men. Like, oh, you're masturbating, or you masturbate. And
Hmm.
then as I got older, I was like, wait, like I masturbate all the time. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And to me, it's important because I'm like, how am I gonna know what I like? How are you gonna know what I like if I don't even know what I like? Like, how are
Hmm.
you gonna know my body more than I know my body? Like, I know there's women that like literally don't even touch their like
They don't.
vajayjay, and I'm like, you don't like, bitch, I touch every single crevice in my body. I am
Period.
not embarrassed of myself at all, bitch. I will be touching my booty hole. I don't care. Like,
Yeah, it's yours. Yeah.
it's literally my
I hope
body.
y'all touching y'all booty holes if you shit.
I
Fuck,
hope y'all washing your
wipe a
hands
little ass.
though.
Yeah. Period.
But like, there's people that don't have that comfortability with themselves.
Yeah. But I think it's that because it's taboo. We're
Mm-hmm.
told women don't do that. Girls don't do that. That's not proper. That's not
It's
right.
not
It's
ladylike.
not ladylike. Like I'm telling you, genuinely, I think this, I don't know, this is fact, but I'm going to say I'm going off my own experiences. But I think genuinely as a woman, you are never going to experience an orgasm until you masturbate. Like you have to masturbate and you have to sit there and you have to practice, use a toy, use your hand. Toys are preferred. You can use vibrations, different levels.
Girl, use a pillow.
Um,
Use literally anything.
Literally anything, but I implore you, like, as you begin to have sexual relations and hopefully you're older, because I'm not talking to nobody younger than 18, um, you have to explore your body, whether it's touching your nipples, whether it's like you're watching, content that like arouses you, or you're reading a fucking book,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the audible, maybe they're breathing real heavy into the mic, I don't know. Like you just there's no experience like pleasuring yourself till you get that out because you could literally make yourself come like 7 times straight on
Mm-hmm.
God. Like as a woman, that's an experience. I don't know if a man could give you that experience. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, literally as a
Let us know,
woman,
you guys. Let
let
us
us
know how
actually
many O's you've had in one night.
drop down below the O challenge.
And then let me
Hey,
know what position you were doing.
hey, period. Hey, winner gets a shout on the next one. Hey, be loud, be proud. No, I'm kidding.
You know what it is too? I noticed that like I would be so focused on trying to sound cute during sex that I like now when I make sounds, I'm like, I don't know if that's sexy, but I feel good as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that like I think back and I'm like, ew, I really was like, wait, did that sound like okay? Did that sound
Mm.
like and it's like and you kind of feel like that, like a literal pocket pussy, because you're like, I'm literally just here like getting fucked. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not even in this. Like I'm not even mentally enjoying this right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah. And I think too, when you're younger and you're like
Yeah.
experimenting with sex, you're like, I don't know, for women, it's like outer body experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're thinking about as you're having relations with this person, how do I continue to please them? Is it the sound? I remember like I would literally focus on like, okay, let me sound better. Like, yeah, I would enjoy it, but I would be more worried about like, are they enjoying it? Like looking to see and then adding more sound effects. Or to my back more,
Yeah.
trying to do over my hair,
Yeah,
like
my back.
just grabbing
Or
hands,
can he feel my lonjas
Oh
right
yeah,
now?
no, oh my god, don't ever fucking put your hand around. I was like, I'm out
I'm
of my
on
zone.
my back, so like my stomach's flat.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like those are things that now as an adult and now with
Mhm.
like more awareness and appreciation and love for my body, I'm like,
Mhm.
I want to hear it too in my ear. I don't always just want to hear myself. Like,
Mhm.
cause think about it, as a man, you're like championing your girl. You're like, that's right, baby. But instead of clapping for her, like you're providing a different kind of soundtrack to
You
her
put on a
life.
little party hat.
Oh, like, hey, but like, there's just things that again, like you have to explore yourself. There's nothing greater than exploring yourself and like
Yeah.
outside of your mind, right? Journaling to clear your brain. When you're really stressed, girl, let me tell you, if you're studying for your fucking finals, you can't sleep and you got a whole bunch of stress. I promise you, get your little toy, get a little 15 minutes, release, and you'll feel so much better. I promise you.
Release.
Hey besties. We're so excited for our next chapter of IE and Besties with our new podcast network, SAZON Studios.
Make sure to check out all the great content from our sister shows like La Plática with Josh Leiva and Sebastián Robles, and Suelta la Lengua with Itati Lopez and her mom, Doña Silvia.
Talk about hilarious duos.
Absolutely. We hope to see you soon, and we hope you tune in.